Good morning. Welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Friday, May 8th. Okay, let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps, which are trading higher. We're up 0.48% this morning. You know, the market's got a lot of optimism surrounding tech and the potential resolution of the Iranian conflict. I mean, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, is out there today saying that he expects to hear something today. So markets are kind of anticipating some positive catalysts this morning. On the economic front, the key event going on today is the non-farm payroll report. This is what markets are going to be waiting for, and that comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. In corporate news, you know, one of the big things that's going on is Trump's has a meeting next week in China, and he's invited a bunch of high-tech and industrial CEOs to be on board with him as he goes to have these meetings in China. So this is kind of positive news for these companies that will be attending. I don't expect to see that much happening out of this meeting, but it is always good to go with them. Anthropic, there's some news out there. These guys are looking to raise tens of billions of dollars this summer, and they're looking to, you know, have a $1 trillion valuation. Wow, that's big. Meanwhile, courts overruled President Trump proposed 10% global tariffs plan. That shouldn't really be effective. Everybody knew that was going to happen. A bunch of shareholders meetings going on today. United Rentals, Illinois Tool Works, Aviva, and others. On the earnings front, the Firm and Rocket Pharmaceuticals and Block, they're all trading higher after their earnings releases. Coinbase, CoreWeave, Expedia, Gilead Sciences, and Cloudflare, they're all trading lower after their earnings announcements. And looking ahead to Monday morning, we got Constellation Energy, we got Fox Corp, we got Mosaic, we got Monday.com, all scheduled to report Monday morning. Okay, now we're going to switch gears for a second, and we're going to turn our attention over to what's happened in the overseas markets, and we're taking a look at Germany. And the DAX is down 0.93% or 229 points. I mean, we're seeing weakness in the financials. We're seeing weakness in the autos. So we'll have to see how that market ends up. But the FTSE was down more, but now it's only down 0.13%. I mean, financial shares are under pressure. Energy is mixed to lower, so that's what's causing that market to pull back a little bit. But the CAC in Paris is down 70 points or 0.85%. Again, financial and luxury stocks are underperforming there. And then we look over at Asia last night, and the Nikkei fell 0.19%, 120 points, which is nothing considering, the day before this, the market was up 5.58%. For it to pull back 0.19, that's minor. Hong Kong, the Hang Seng finished lower by 232 points or 0.87%. The tensions in the Middle East prompted some profit taking. China, Shanghai, closed flat, but, virtually unchanged. The markets are waiting on commentary about the proposed peace plan memorandum. And of course, they're looking ahead to, President Trump's visit. Okay, let's take a look at oil. And oil's got a lot of attention on it again this morning because of Middle East action. I mean, you're looking at WTI, it's trading $93.73. You're looking at Brent, it's trading $100.31. I mean, the key thing, the key news event was that Iran, after the close yesterday, Iran reportedly launched missiles and targeted 3 U.S. Navy destroyers in the Gulf of Oman. And then they missile strikes, drones, small boats. In response, the U.S. Forces they intercepted these missiles and they destroyed the destroyed 6 Iranian boats. But that increase in that elevation in tensions is causing a concern. That has markets a little bit on edge. Although a peace plan is scheduled to be in the works, this memorandum, which is 3 points, which is relatively minor. It doesn't address any of the issues that have been talked about going into the war, but, it will signify, progress. So, we'll have to wait and see if this, comes out today, because Marco Rubio thinks he's going to hear something from him today, but we'll wait and see. Okay, now we're moving on into earnings, and we're taking a look at some of the earnings that came out last night. We got to start off with Coinbase, ticker COIN. Actually, if you look at the stock this morning, it is trading lower. It's down 2.77%. listen, they missed by $1.73 on lower revenue. That's not good. Then you got McKesson, ticker MCK. They're down 1.16%, but they beat by 12 cents, although it was done on lower revenue. And then you got CoreWeave, CRWV, which is down 7.68% this morning. They missed by 49 cents, but they did do it on higher revenue. Upcoming, you got the Circle Internet Group, that's CRCL. They're coming out Monday morning. EPS is 15 cents. Expected move is 15%. You also have Constellation Energy Group, ticker CEG, Charlie Edward Grace. Their EPS is $2.56. Expected move is 8.75% when they release. Now we got to talk about the economic reports that are hitting the tape this morning. We got the non-farms payroll report coming out at 8:30 a.m., which is only one of the reports that are scheduled. But it really is going to be the big one that's going to be affecting the markets all day today. We also have at 10 a.m. you have the consumer sentiment. At 1 p.m. you get the Baker Hughes rig count. At 5 earlier this morning, Lisa Cook gave a speech. But at 7:30 tonight at the Hoover Institute conference, you have a bunch of the Fed speakers, such as Chicago Fed Bank President Austin Goolsbee, San Francisco Fed Bank President Mary Daly, along with Governors Waller and Bauman, who will be part of a panel there. But getting back to the non-farms payroll report, we're looking for a gain of around 55,000. Last month it came in at 189,000. Which seems to be, a dramatic change, but that 189,000 was, significantly higher than the month before. So it's, you really got to look at at a moving average here, and you got to look at the other employment data as well. I mean, you look at yesterday's initial jobless claims report, it showed 200,000 new claims. Now the estimates were for 205, but last week's reading was 189, which was unusually low. So, it just shows you that employment is still pretty steady. Employment is pretty steady, so we should be okay there. Inflation, on the other hand, that's probably going to start to rise. Okay, now we're going to move to some of the stocks that are moving the markets today. We got to start off with Apple because they have those iPads with cameras, for AI, compatibility with its Siri voice assistant. Now, apparently, they're very close to production. That's positive for Apple. Amazon, they got a big outage this morning at a Virginia data center. Meta, UK court, Meta's challenging UK courts over Online Safety Act. Netflix near a deal to include Australian games and Christmas games from the NFL. That's very positive for them. In terms of Dow Jones 30s, NVIDIA is investing up to $2.1 billion in Iran announced partnerships. And then you can talk about like Boeing, Visa, NVIDIA. I mean, the CEOs from these companies have been invited to travel with Trump to China next week for his visit. I mean, Boeing, Apple, NVIDIA, ExxonMobil, Citigroup, Visa. Good. They're not all going to make it, but they at least they were all invited. In terms of guidance news, Airbnb, they see Q2 revenue coming in $3.54 billion to $3.6 billion. Street estimate was $3.46, so that's actually an uptick. Rocket Companies sees Q2 revenue coming in $2.7 billion to $2.9 billion. Street estimates $2.97 billion. That's a downtick. Expedia sees Q2 revenue coming in $4.11 billion to $4.19 billion. Street estimates $412. So that's a slight downtick, but that's okay. Shareholders meetings today: United Rentals, Illinois Tool Works, Aviva, and others. Buyback news: Devon Energy, DVN, their board approved a buyback of up to $8 billion worth. IQV, their board approved the $2 billion increase to their share repurchasing plan. Nice. Okay, now we've got to move into our pick of the day, and I'm going to go with quantum computing, QUBT. Earnings are out Monday morning. EPS is for a loss of 5 cents. Expected move is 16.34%. Yesterday's call volume, 18,000 versus 5,400. Very positive. Open interest, 171K to 116K. Again, positive. Major brokers don't really follow this one, but I think, listen, I'm going to kind of hold my powder, and if I can get in $9.55 area, I think it would be a good trade. So, that's my pick of the day. QUBT, $9.55 as an entry price. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to take a look at the stories that are hitting the tape in the last 15 minutes or so, and let's see if we see anything exciting. UAE air defense systems engage Iran missiles and drones. There are currently more than 70 tankers that U.S. forces are preventing from entering or leaving Iranian ports. Cloudflare ticker NET to reverse workforce by 1100. Let's see what else we got here. Signet Jewelers, SIG adds former Macy's CEO to its board. Upwork is going to reduce its workforce by 24%. All right, that's all I'm seeing this morning, really. Okay, in terms of yesterday's pick of the day, it was just a big miss. I mean, when I went with Gilead Sciences, and they're buying out a company, and they threw all the costs of this buyout into into this year instead of raising any money, and just crushed the stock. It just didn't work out. But we live to trade another day. But traders, you guys know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green today.